SmackDown. I enjoyed SmackDown this week. A lot more promos than I thought it needed to be. It felt like a go-home show when it wasn't, and hopefully they can have a good go-home show this week. I think this should have been a go-home show, but maybe they're planning an invasion. I don't know. It kind of makes me interested for SmackDown this week because it felt like this was a go-home show, but they got something planned, so I'm excited for that. Now let's go to your go-home Raw for Survivor Series. It kicked off with WWE Champion Big E cutting a promo on Roman Reigns saying he made this personal, and in Brooklyn he's going to beat the shit out of Roman Reigns, and he'll have a hospital bed ready in Brooklyn for Roman. Big E then called out Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens said he snapped last week and told Big E he could go to hell, and claimed if everyone wants him to be the bad guy, then he will break bad, and he will be the bad guy. After this, the Usos came out and attacked Big E and said their tribal chief sends their regards. And Riddle actually came out to make the save on Big E. Now, this is something about this segment that I really look forward to. It is Kevin Owens saying he'll break bad. I love Kevin Owens way more as a heel than ever as a face, in my opinion. Kevin Owens as a heel, he's so much better. The way he cuts promos, the way he moves in the ring, the heel tactics he uses. I love him as a heel. There are certain people I love as a face and certain people I love as a heel. Johnny Gargano, great heel, great face. Tommaso Ciampa, way better face than he ever was a heel, in my opinion. Finn Balor, way better face. Dean Ambrose, way better face than he ever was a heel. Seth Rollins, I like him better as a face. I know more people like him better as a heel. Kevin Owens is one of those people. He is a way better heel than he ever was a face. He is made to be heel, in my opinion. So Kevin Owens as a heel is way better. And also, I pray that they release some like Breaking Bad merch with Kevin Owens, maybe with the Heisenberg hat on, a bald head, and has a beard, cooking like a championship title or something. I think that would be cool if they like make him kind of like a Breaking Bad gimmick of like, I'm just gonna turn evil. I'm just going to be an evil guy. I don't care what people think of me. I'm that type of guy now. But anyway, back to the match. RK Bros Riddle would come out and make the save for Big E. And they would have a tag team match with the Usos. Sonya Deville would make it official. Big E and Riddle would have a great match with the Usos. But as Seth Rollins would be sitting at ringside to be on commentary, Big E would throw Jimmy into Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins would attack Big E and cause a DQ. And then Orton would come out and make the save. So you would now have a 6-man tag team match, which actually went very quickly. I think there was a fuck up on Riddle's part. He was supposed to kick out, and he didn't. And Seth Rollins rolled him up for the win. Seth Rollins then went out of the ring, and Orton, who didn't get any time in the match at all, would hit an RKO on the Usos on, I believe it was Jay. Then Big E would pick up Jimmy and would say, Roman, here's my regards, and would hit a big ending on Jimmy. And he was saying, Survivor Series, I'm ready. After this, we got Bianca Belaire versus Tamina Snuka. This was a really cool match. It actually really showed the power of Bianca Belaire as she picked up Tamina for a KOD. And it was a very good match. I guess Doudrop's a heel now after last week when she cost Bianca Belaire her shot at the Raw Women's Championship, saying Bianca Belaire has had enough shots. And now I guess Doudrop turned heel after being very over with the crowd. She was I don't get this heel turn. I guess she's going to be WWE's female version of Big Show. Is she a heel? Is she a face? No one knows anymore. Bianca Belaire would defeat Doudrop, and Doudrop came out and saying she'll be looking for Bianca after Survivor Series. She is not going to cost them, the Raw team, the Survivor Series match. After this, Becky Lynch came out and addressed Charlotte Flair, saying she is ready for their match and she will beat Charlotte very easily. Liv Morgan then came out and called Big Time Beck. She said she is no longer Big Time Beck. She is Big Time Bitch. Because you can't have a women's feud without someone being called a bitch. Now it's blood. And Big Time Bex would walk out, would go to hit the manhandle slam. Liv Morgan would reverse it. And Big Time Bex would roll out of the ring and would be looking pissed. After this, we got the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy of Chad, Gable, and Otis. The Street Profits would pick up the win in a very good tag team match to really cement the Street Profits as a challenger for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Before the match, it was really more of Orton and Riddle backstage saying Orton doesn't care about the Street Profits, doesn't care about anyone, and Riddle needs to stop interfering in everyone's business and just let them handle their own and let Riddle and Orton focus on the Raw Tag Team Championships and the Usos at Survivor Series. After this, we got Queen Zelena versus Nikki Ash, and Queen Zelena would pick up the win to cement her place on the Women's Survivor Series team over Nikki Ash to make that choice easier. And then we would get Rhea Ripley versus Carmela. Rhea Ripley would pick up the win over Carmela to cement her place on the Raw Women's Survivor Series team. Zelena would say that while Rhea does deserve to be on the team, Nikki Ash will never be on the team, and while Carmela is, Nikki Ash will be at home watching Survivor Series like a loser. Then we got a little backstage promo of Kevin Owens saying, I'm the bad guy now, and I'm fine with that. I like being a bad guy, and I have no problem turning on whoever I need to. And then Finn Balor came out and said, I was supposed to have a match with Seth Rollins, but because you decided to open this new can of worms, how about you and me have a match tonight? Kevin Owens and Finn Balor then would have a banger of a match. These two have amazing chemistry. They've talked about since their time actually coming to WWE and cutting their first promos at the Performance Center. They've said they've always had that type of chemistry in the ring. So Finn Balor and Kevin Owens would have a great match. Kevin Owens would pick up the win and would actually attack Finn Balor after the match. Finn Balor would escape, but Kevin Owens would be left standing tall. After this, we got AJ Styles and Omos versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And shout out to the Dirty Dogs here for making a great reference to Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. And it was actually Danny DeVito. It was Corey Graves on commentary saying, it was Byron Saxon saying, wow, they called AJ Styles Danny DeVito. That's a little mean. And what do you think about that, Graves? And Graves just went, I don't know, I never called Danny DeVito. It was just, that just made me laugh my ass off. I was dying laughing at that. AJ Styles and Omos would squash the Dirty Dogs to prove themselves as, I guess, number one contenders to the Raw Tag Team Championships. After this, it was announced for Survivor Series, it will be the United States Champion Damien Priest versus Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Like I said last week, I saw that match come. A blind man in Manhattan saw that coming. So, yeah. There was no way that wasn't happening. After this, we got Bobby Lashley versus Rey Mysterio in the main event. Bobby Lashley would beat Rey Mysterio in a very hard-fought match. Rey Mysterio proving why he is one of the best to ever do it. But he just couldn't take Bobby Lashley down. After the match, it was announced that Rey Mysterio would no longer be on the Men's Survivor Series team for Raw. Adam Pearce would announce that. I guess Adam Pearce is turning heel as well. And he was saying he would have a replacement to be named later. I guess that's just a 8 seconds later because Austin Theory would come out and attack Dominic Mysterio. And Adam Pearce would come out and said, I like your style, Austin. You are now on the Raw Men's Survivor Series team. And Austin Theory has now replaced Rey Mysterio. I didn't see that one coming. I was actually very shocked. I thought that was a good way to end the go-home Raw. I wish there was more to building up to Survivor Series of Raw versus SmackDown, maybe an invasion. But I guess that would have felt a little forced. It was a cool little thing to have Austin Theory replace Rey Mysterio. But at the same time, I think it's a little too early for Austin Theory. I hope they don't blow this like they did at WrestleMania 36. Very good Raw and SmackDown, though. Very enjoyable this week. I'm now moving on to one of the most infamous Survivor Series ever. 1997, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We all know what happened here. From the Molson Center, 20,593 in attendance. The tagline, Gang Rules. November 9th, 1997. Any wrestling fan who watches this knows what this is. Any wrestling fan at all knows what happened here. Let's start off with your first match of the Godwins versus the Headbangers and the New Blackjacks, which would include a Blackjack Bradshaw. That's right, JBL would actually... It's a very forgotten little thing of the New Blackjacks where Terry Bradshaw would be a part of the New Blackjacks. And it was a very good opener Survivor Series match. Henry Q. Godwin eliminated Bradshaw in 3 minutes, 52 seconds. Apparently this wasn't supposed to happen. Bradshaw was supposed to go over for his team, but Timmy White, the referee, fucked up. And they had to change it on the fly. Bradshaw was supposed to be the one going over, but Road Dogg would eliminate him, and Timmy White would apologize, and Gerald Briscoe would be chewing Bradshaw out backstage, but after they realized Timmy White fucked up, they were like, hey, we're sorry, we'll see you, it's not your fault, and that would basically kill his push. But after this, he would go into a tag team with Farouk and would form the APA. So that was a really cool little piece of trivia there. New Age Outlaws would be the sole survivors for their team of Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. And that was a cool little match. After this, we got the Truth Commission, the TTC of the Interrogator, the Jackal, Reckon, and Sniper versus the Disciples of Apocalypse, 8-Ball, Chains, Crush, and Skull in a 4-on-4 Survivor Series team. This would be a very quick match. It would be a 9-minute Survivor Series match, and the TTC would pick up the win with the sole survivor being the Interrogator in a 9-minute, 59-second match. After this, we would get Team Canada versus Team USA. Team Canada would consist of the British Bulldog, Doug Farnes, Jim Neihart, and Phil LaFawn versus Team USA of Goldust, Mark Merrow, Steve Blackman, and Vader with Sable at ringside. Team Canada would pick up the win over Team USA, and the sole survivor would be the British Bulldog. It was very weird because you felt more of Team Canada being the face while Team USA being the heels, because we are in Montreal, of course. And then after this, we got a singles match, actually, which was very weird for the time. Usually it was just, unless it was a title match, you would not get a singles match on Survivor Series, which was Kane versus Mankind in a very good 9-minute match. These two would always have great chemistry in the ring. Kane would later say Mankind, Mick Foley would be one of his favorite opponents in the ring, minus The Undertaker. They would always have a great match no matter what. So if you're looking for a fun match to watch, a quick, fun match, this is one I've always enjoyed. And then after this, we get another 4-on-4 Survivor Series match with Ken Shamrock, Ahmad Johnson, and the Legion of Doom versus the Nation of Domination, Farouk, D'Lo Brown, Kamal Mustafa, and Rocky Maivia. This would be before they would add Mark Henry to the team. It would be a 20-minute match in which Ken Shamrock and Legion of Doom and Ahmed Johnson would pick up the win, and your sole survivor would be Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock would basically go out 4-on-1 and would pick up the win after all his team was basically eliminated, except for Animal, who would be eliminated by